Hello, friends. Welcome back. So, I thought I'll just give an update on my trades, which is ongoing, and it was because it's after the weekend, and there are also so much of changes which has happened on my positions which I hold. So, I thought, okay, let me quickly share the update on my trades. So, as you can see, my loss is around 175 euro because the index has fallen. It is started very low today, but it is kind of bouncing back. So my loss went up to 200 to 210 euro around, and now as you can see, when the index is bouncing back or the index is correcting, then my loss is coming down. So that is what is ongoing with my current trade on DAX. And then also in short, I'll show you what is happening with my positions with options, which I have hedged against a fall of index. Yeah, so as you can see, this is my option positions which I hold, and you can see I'm already having a profit of 4 euro on the calls which I sold, which is exactly working as expected, and I might get around 1 more euro extra, and it would be around 5 euro of profit. And I also have a put position which is for 25,000 which I bought, and this is giving me losses. So I can explain. So what happened is I expected a very large fall in the index because it's a weekend. There was so much expectation when Trump was in China, and but nothing turned out to be really positive. So then I expected a huge fall in the index, and that is why for an extra insurance or for an extra premium or to have an extra protection, I took 24,000. I bought 24,000 index. I mean 24,000 put, and everything went well because as you can see the index fell drastically today because my position was around 24,000 of put, and as you can see it fell to around 23,652. So the expectation was all good, and my put was giving me enough profits. I got a profit of around 10 to 15 euro when the index fell, but then once it touched 23,650 around, it bounced back. So the market has reversed, and that is why you see my put which I bought is bleeding, or I'm losing money on that. But my call positions, as expected, is it's give me profit. So this is one mistake. I mean, which I also wanted to inform around. So whenever you are taking insurance, or insurance is the kind of whenever you are going for a hedge with options, you need to have a clear view. I mean, at least around where the index would remain, because my view was correct, the index fell, but the rebound was something which I never expected, at least till end of the day, because my options were expiring today. As you can see, it's May 18 today expiry. So if the index was around 23,600, I would have made a profit of around 25 euro, which didn't happen. So I lost 30 euro along with my loss of uh, the DAX falling. But it is okay. I mean, as I told, this is completely a learning curve. So next time when I go for my next hedge positions for the next expiry, I would consider this, and I would take something which is more appropriate. Okay. So now coming to the next expiry. So today is 18th, and the expiry is going to, I mean, by end of the day, the expiry would happen. So now for 20th May is the next expiry where I want to again hedge my long position, because my long position is in loss. I'm having a loss of 170 euro, and unless and until the long is coming back to 24,800, I will not make any profit. But since I already have some hedge positions, I'm bringing down the break even. So in the next session, I will show you a trade ledger which I already booked profits for the last 1 2 weeks. That is around 90 to 100 euro, which I already booked by selling options. So I don't want to wait until the index is 24,800. I can just come out of the trade profitable whenever the index is around 24,500 or 24,600. I don't want to wait until 800 because I already booked some profits. I will show the ledger in my next video so you can clearly understand what is happening. So you buy a long index, and then when it comes down, you sell calls, and then this selling calls will give you some extra cushion of 5 to 10 euro. And then when the index is bouncing back, you don't need to wait until your original buy price to be profitable. So once this index is if the index is bouncing back, and tomorrow if the index is around 24,200, I will be already making profits. So that is the one advantage of caller. But as you see, if you are selecting the wrong strikes, or if you are over insuring something, then also you will lose some money. So In my case, I bought a PE 24,000. The view was correct. The index fell, but since it rebounded, I'm losing some money. But that's okay. I mean, that is how you learn, uh, and that is how you select your next positions. Okay, so now about the trades which I'll be opting for the next expiry. That would be on 20th May. Because obviously I want to hedge again against if the index is falling. So as of now, these are the four options that I have. One is a covered call, calendar spread, diagonal put spread, and ratio put right. So now what I'll be doing is I'll be analyzing these trades in, I mean, all these options in detail, and then see which option should I select for. I mean, obviously for each and every kind of strategy, you'll have the plus points and minus points. And what I did for last week was just selling a call, and because I was a bit too, I cannot take so much risk. I also bought a put option, which is now giving me losses. So next time for the next expiry in 2 days, I want to try a new strategy, because the whole intention is just to protect my long position which I hold and to give it some kind of cushion. So I want to hedge against very drastic changes. Or the other strategy is also to make some money, because if I buy and if I have the long with me, if I select a strategy which also gives me money when the index is not giving me money, that is also an option. So something like a spread, calendar spread. So what happens is the calendar spreads will give you some profit like 8 to 9 euro, 10 euro, and my index will be still in loss. But it is also fine, because if I get 10 or 15 euro, then it still help me to reduce the break even. So next what I will do, I'll select a strategy and then I will explain you how I'm setting up this trade for the next expiry, and then what are the maximum losses or what are the maximum issues that that my trade will have to face. Hi friends, so welcome back. Sorry, I had to stop the video in between yesterday. So now, yeah, as you can see in my screen, this is the current positions now, which is ongoing. And because of the news which came up that Trump has agreed for a ceasefire, and because of the all positive notes happening in the share market, the markets are really trending towards the positive side. And as you can see, my losses. I mean, I think I had a loss of around to the max 200 euro, which has come down to 50 euro. So what happened is, as you know, I already made some good profits by selling options in between, which is already in my account. And once it touches the level where I bought the index like 24884, I'll have a very nice profit in my hand. So I'll give you all the details of the options which I sold in between. As promised, I'll come up with a ledger with all the positions which I sold, so that you guys can have a clear view on how much did I make by selling options in between, and what happens when the index is trending towards me. So, and then also what is my reward? I mean, or the what is the ratio of rewards which I got? Because as I told in my initial video, the total investment is only around 700 to 800 euro, and even if I make a 70 euro out of it, it is a very handful profit of 10 percentage in 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, not in 2 3 weeks, I think it is just 2 weeks or around 10 days. But I'll come up with all the details of my positions, and yeah, and then we can talk about that. Yeah, so that's all for this video. So as promised, I'll come back and I'll show all the options that I sold in this 10 days, and also what happened with my index, and how much profits did I make, and what is the rate of return on my invested capital. So everything I'll upload another video, and hopefully by the time of the next video, I should have closed my index and I should have come out of my trade. So thanks everyone for watching. So see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.